All right, welcome into Golden State Warriors today. I'm Chase Sr. coming at you from home and not the Chat Sports Studios because there is too much to talk about when it comes to the Warriors heading into free agency, which does begin on Friday. And speaking of that, we're a little more than 300 people away from 57,000 subscribers. By the end of NBA free agency, or at least the height of it, I'm looking to get this channel to 60,000 subscribers. We have people watching from every pocket of America, but also all across the world. And if you're coming across the show for the first time, we give you Warriors content year-round. News, rumors, analysis, it's all very insightful, informative, and entertaining. So if you haven't subscribed and you want to stay in the know with all of the moves that the Warriors make and any news that happens around this basketball team, hit that subscribe button right now. As for what we're getting into on today's show, yesterday we looked at 5 affordable free agent targets that the Warriors could look to sign. Now we're going to go through and comb through some of the buzz around some players that the Warriors could sign on vet minimum contracts. And I want to really start the foundation with this because it goes well into what we're going to talk about on today's show. Mike Dunleavy Jr., after the NBA draft, was asked about the Warriors' free agency plans. And he said a couple of things that give you a look as to what the Warriors might be thinking going into free agency. He said they cleared roster spots for bullets in free agency. They only have minimum contracts. Quote, he's looking to add veteran players who can fit into the rotation. That was really a staple from Bob Myers as the Warriors won all those championships. How do you fill out the roster with quality depth pieces who are going to be able to contribute to the team? He's also looking for shooting and two-way ability, which is, quote, at a premium. And it's obvious we need to add some size. So some of the players that we're going to talk about on today's show fill some of those categories, and they check some of the boxes that Mike Dunleavy talked about. He also went on to say and indicate that the Warriors aren't expecting to carry a 15th man on this roster, leaving it vacant to trim the tax bill. So you're talking about 3 players and 3 openings that the Warriors could sign, and only one kind of a contract to offer. And it's really a minimum contract. The Warriors can't really afford a massive payday for somebody out there unless, of course, they trade a player who's already making money currently with Golden State. And that's all the case because of the incoming collective bargaining agreement. The Warriors are over the second tax apron, no longer have the taxpayer mid-level exception. Now, heading into free agency, I want to hear from you. What's your level of confidence in Mike Dunleavy Jr. to get this free agency period right so that the Warriors can compete for a championship? Sound off and let me know in the comment section. Scale that level of confidence for me from 1 to 10. 1, not confident. 10, very confident. So let's take a look at some of these players here that fit what Mike Dunleavy Jr. talked about. A big. They need some size. Dario Saric fits that bill. Checks a whole lot of boxes. He's 6'10" and a stretch forward who can also play the 5. He can knock down some threes, has a really good feel for the game as a European. I'm from the Philadelphia area. He got to start with the 76ers. They've really missed him over the last couple of years as far as the grittiness and his feel for the game. Very good passing ability for a big as well. Does have some defensive smarts to fit into what Steve Kerr looks for in some bigs out there. He is a career 36% three-point shooter. Last year, coming off a torn ACL, he shot just north of 39%. And usually when you have a player coming off a torn ACL, oftentimes they are better in that second season after that injury. He's also 29 years old, doesn't turn 30 until April. So a multi-year deal, he could be around this Warriors core for at least a little bit. Let's stick with size and floor stretching ability in that front court. Kevin Love. Talked about him briefly on yesterday's show. Fell out of that Cleveland Cavaliers rotation early last year after he shot nearly 40% 2 years ago, but then moved into Miami's rotation. And in the playoffs, he was hovering around 18 minutes played per night. and connected on about 37% of his three-point shots. If he can give the Warriors 15 to 20 minutes per night and shoot 37 to 40% from three, he can be one of those aforementioned valuable rotation guys for the Warriors. And Golden State's veterans would gladly bring a player like this in. Very smart player, and I discussed this yesterday. Some of the outlet passes, the stretch passes, the loft passes down floor could really lead to a lot of easy buckets for the Warriors on the offensive end of the floor. George Niang is another intriguing player. I think the Sixers are going to look to bring him back for more money than he would make for the Warriors. He has hit a combined 310 threes the last 2 seasons. You leave him open, he's got that sweet stroke to knock down some buckets. Not a good defender, not a quick athlete, but a savvy and smart basketball player. A couple of more players here. How about the Curry brothers link up and the Warriors sign Seth Curry? There's no question that his shooting ability, and some people joke that he's the best shooter in the Curry family, right around 40%, that he is going to get a loftier deal in NBA free agency from another team that has a thirst for shooting, more so than Golden State. He wouldn't give the Warriors good defensive minutes. He would have to give them a discount to chase a ring alongside his brother. Seth has had some opportunities in the past to team up with Steph, but he's declined those opportunities. I think he can get more playing time and more money somewhere else, but Seth Curry on this team with some open looks would be unconscious from downtown, and he would be able to connect on high volume 3 after high volume 3 as far as efficiency goes. Patrick Beverley is a player that the Warriors did check in on after he was let go by the Los Angeles Lakers. I thought that he could have been a potential buyout candidate for Golden State. Maybe the Warriors will check in once again, but after you brought in Chris Paul, you don't really need another backcourt player or backcourt scorer on this team. And then let's round out here with Jae Crowder. Jae Crowder against a team like the Los Angeles Lakers could have helped you. He has some swagger. He has some toughness. It comes on the wing. Solid three-point shooter. He can maybe give you some size if you go small with Draymond Green at the 5 and Jae Crowder, at that 4. He might be cooked. He didn't really play all that well with the Milwaukee Bucks last year as they signed him for that stretch run, hoping that they could compete for an NBA championship. They went down in the first round to the Miami Heat. But I would like the fit of Jae Crowder on Golden State. He turns 33 years old in July, never really found that rhythm with the Milwaukee Bucks, and didn't even crack that playoff rotation. But I think the Warriors could do worse in NBA free agency here than a player like Jae Crowder. So you look at this list here, and there are some players who could sign on the vet min. Some of these players might decide to go elsewhere to try to make a little bit more money and get some more playing time. But if you're looking as a veteran to win an NBA championship, the Golden State Warriors can offer you a lot. Great culture, good fit. It's a fun experience. The Warriors as an organization do a great job of maximizing you as an individual basketball player. Some other names out there could be like a Jeff Green or a Trey Lyles. They certainly both have ability. Jeff Green was really, really good, the ageless wonder for the Denver Nuggets en route to that NBA championship. He can give you some three-point shooting, a little bit of playmaking, still athletic to rise up for some dunks, and he can guard a couple of different positions. So you look at this list here. Dario Saric, Kevin Love, George Niang, Seth Curry, Patrick Beverley, Jae Crowder. All these players, somewhat intriguing, obviously, for different reasons. So my last question for the audience is, if you could bring in one of these players or a couple of these players, who would it be? I want you to drop a name down below in the comment section and certainly let us know. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I'm looking at some of the videos that we've done. Last year during free agency, we were turning in millions and millions of views. It was the most impressive stretch that Warriors Today has ever gone on, and one of the most impressive stretches that any channel under the Chat Sports umbrella has embarked on. And we're starting to heat up here, and this is why you want to be a part of the movement. 5 affordable NBA free agents the Warriors could sign. That's going to do 20 to 30,000 views. We had a major report on Draymond Green, which has already passed 30,000 views. The Warriors looking to potentially trade Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green, great numbers on that. We covered the NBA draft picks and Brandon Podziemski, as well as the UDFA tracker, as the Warriors did sign Javon Johnson. When Summer League is going to happen here in a few days, we'll also be covering that. We like to basically do it all here on Golden State Warriors Today. I'm Chase Sr. Producer Jack Lauderay has been crushing the game as well, helping me with a lot of this content because I'm a busy man here at Chat Sports, but I absolutely love the grind, and I appreciate everybody for watching. Hit that like button, comment, don't forget to subscribe. And we'll catch you tomorrow here on Warriors Today. Or if breaking news happens, you know we're going to cover it here on the program.